She and Theo were the kind of couple who moved in sync without trying.
Even Rita, who married last year, is already pregnant.
What are you two doing every night, playing Monopoly?
Ha! My daughter.
Theo left for his business trip on a bright Monday morning, suitcase in one hand, confidence in his stride, and love in his eyes. Kiesha stood at the gate, waving until his car disappeared down the long driveway. The moment the gate closed, her heart sank. That day she had to decide. The first time Kiesha found herself alone in the same space as James, Theo's younger brother, the air felt heavy. Too quiet, too loud, too wrong. They couldn't even look at each other. James cleared his throat every 5 seconds. Kiesha stared at the curtains like they were the most interesting thing she had ever seen in her life. At one point, she almost ran out of the room. Her legs shook. Her stomach twisted. Her conscience screamed, "This is madness," she whispered to herself. But then, Theo's sad smile flashed in her mind. Auntie Jessie's laughter echoed again. And Kiesha swallowed her fear. "For the greater good," she told herself. "For my husband." Those 2 weeks passed slowly, painfully. They met several times, not out of desire, not out of love, but out of duty, silence, and pressure. No laughter, no joy, just the hope that this would all be over soon. When Theo's return date finally arrived, Kiesha felt like she could breathe again. Theo came back glowing. He brought gifts, designer bags, expensive perfumes, sparkling jewelry that could blind a person under the sunlight. He laid them out like trophies of love. But instead of joy, Kiesha broke down in tears. Theo panicked. "Did I get the wrong ones? Babe, what's wrong?" Kiesha wiped her face quickly and forced a smile. "They're tears of joy," she said. But they were tears of guilt. Because why did she repay a man who loved her like that by stabbing him in the back? 2 months passed. Theo treated Kiesha like glass, gentle, attentive, protective. He watched what she ate, how she slept, even how she walked. Then one morning, Kiesha collapsed from nausea. At the hospital, the doctor smiled and said the words that changed everything. "Congratulations. You're pregnant." The world exploded. The family rejoiced. Ululations filled the house. Kiesha became royalty overnight. Theo, overwhelmed with pride, surprised her with a brand new Jaguar. "You've made me a man among men," he said. Months later, a baby boy was born. They named him Emmanuel. Emmanuel grew up surrounded by love, wealth, and attention. By the age of 10, he already had properties in his name and investments that most adults could only dream of. Theo adored him. James adored him too, maybe a little too much. If Emmanuel fell, James panicked. If Emmanuel cried, James rushed in. If Emmanuel sneezed, James was already calling a doctor. People joked about it. One day, Theo even laughed. If someone didn't know better, they'd think you're his father. The room went quiet. Uncomfortably quiet. One afternoon, Emmanuel was involved in a car accident on his way home from school. Theo rushed to the hospital, heart pounding. As he approached the emergency room, he overheard a voice, James's voice. "Use my blood. I'm his biological father." Theo froze. "Biological father? What nonsense is this?" he muttered, brushing it off as panic talking. But after Emmanuel was stabilized, Theo noticed something unsettling. James wouldn't leave the boy's side. His relief sounded personal. Theo went straight to the doctor. Minutes later, rage burned through his veins. He stormed into the private room where Emmanuel slept peacefully. "Somebody better tell me what is going on right now," Theo roared. "Why is James claiming to be my son's father?" The room froze. His mother's face turned pale. Kiesha collapsed into tears. "I've ordered a DNA test," Theo continued, shaking. "If those results are negative, some people won't see tomorrow." There was silence, fear, and trembling of legs. The doctor returned. Theo was the father. The child was conceived after his return from the trip. For 10 years, the family had lived under a lie that didn't even need to exist. They all assumed Emmanuel was James' child, since Kiesha got pregnant around the same time she met with the younger brother. Even James strongly believed he was the father, and had loved Emmanuel for 10 years like his own child. The secret turned out to be a lie. The truth poured out. Theo stared at Kiesha. After all this love, this is how you thank me? She turned to James. You didn't just hurt me. You destroyed me. Then the question that broke everyone. Did any of you ever stop to think about how I would feel? Was it worth it? There was no answer. Theo ordered Kiesha and James out of his house. A year passed. A year of regret. A year of repentance. A year of silence. For Emmanuel's sake, Theo allowed Kiesha to return. But love was no longer the same. Because some things, once broken, can never be fixed, Theo told her that he had forgiven her, but it will take time for love to grow again. He was willing to start all over. Kiesha begged for forgiveness and was grateful to be by his side again. She vowed to live the rest of her life devoted to Theo. What would you have done if you were Kiesha?